But now I haven't got my glasses on. So the Hangout on Air is live. That means we are on the air. I think my microphone is muted. Or just not being used. Yes, that's better. Now people can hear us. Hello and welcome. And this actually feels really weird doing this because normally I'm like staring at a screen right in front of me, but today I'm surrounded by these two gentlemen. Welcome to Off the Shelf. This is episode 70. We are recording live in Shepperton. It is Friday night. It's the eve of Nerdmania, and I am joined as usual by Brad Mull.
Good evening.
Brad Olstrom Prime Mull. What is your name again?
Yeah, that's all right. I left the helmet in the car. So,
did you bring the Prime costume?
No, I was going to. But that's not finished. I'm still hung up on paint. I've got paint issues, so.
Fair enough.
I was going to walk around Prime's legs, but I didn't think because they are all painted ready to go. But
he's having trouble with the primer.
Sorry, guys. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come for this podcast. Sitting on my right to screen left. I don't know which way everything comes out on the podcast.
He's over there.
We have this guy. We have Simon Chambers. How are you doing, Simon?
I'm going well, thanks. And yourselves?
Pretty good. Got
Friday.
It's Friday. What can I say?
Yeah, got accidentally wet wandering around Shepperton earlier.
Chasing what?
Pokemon.
Funny you can't see rain when it's dark.
Yes. Well, so Brad and I met up and we went into Kmart and we purchased this guy. We have a Titans Return Galvatron that we'll probably unbox on the podcast. Thank you for the spirit fingers there, Simon. We met up. We went through Kmart. We got some Transformers. I got some Transformers from Kmart. Brad was very good. He managed to resist the urge to purchase Transformers.
I'll go back tomorrow. I know they're there.
Well, there's not that many. So weirdly, there were 2 Galvatrons and there was only 1 Sentinel Prime. So it seems like someone's taken a Sentinel Prime and left a Galvatron. I don't know why anyone would do such a thing.
Pick him over the other one.
Well, they may have mistaken Sentinel Prime for a witch's hat and used him to stop traffic. He's very bright. I should have shown you the photo. I'm sure you've seen
He's very orange.
He is very orange and red and stuff. It reminds me, actually, a couple of years ago, I got a Nexus 5 phone in bright orange, bright red color. And I walked around. It was so bright that I actually compared it to things like a witch's hat. It was brighter. High visibility vest. It was brighter. Australia Post van. It was brighter. So I suspect if you do the same tests with Titans Return Sentinel Prime, you'll get the same results. So yes. Sorry, Simon. It's very rare to have you on the podcast. We're very privileged to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. I'm not very technologically sound, so I thought the best way to get on the podcast is actually come and see you guys. So.
Yes, that's actually been the only way that you've managed to get on the podcasts before. We had you on the night before.
I had a voice cameo.
Yes, I think you had a cameo in the background as you were carrying some food into the room or something.
Oh, what? I was on the shot as well.
I think so. I seem to recall.
Okay.
I think you hammed it up in the background. You actually stole the scene.
Oh,
yeah.
We enjoyed some KFC dessert that night. That was delicious.
Shh, I kind of want some dessert now. It is, as usual, kind of late at night as we are recording.
We wanted to do this early, but it still ended up late.
We tried to do it earlier, and we ended up just eating pizza and gas bagging. Who knew? So it is. Excuse me. It is episode 70. We're all here, so we're all going to talk to each other, not necessarily to the camera, but we'll see how things go. We'll do the regular boilerplate, right? Off the Shelf is the podcast for Transformers Collectors Club Australia. You can find the website at transformerscca.com, and there you'll find links to the Facebook discussion group, the Facebook sales group, the YouTube channel, the Twitter page, and of course this podcast right here with all of us and all of the 69 other episodes that have gone to air before this. Now, we are in Shepperton for Nerdmania. It's happening tomorrow. Brad, tell us what's going on. What's going to happen at Nerdmania?
Last year we had a table at Nerdmania and had our I won't say stand display, but had the display set up as we usually do, and got to meet a lot of people and that. So we thought we'd come back this year. We got 2 tables this year and got a lot more stuff to display. So only just down the road for me, which makes it easy. Or easier.
So you say down the road, it's like an hour and a half drive, right?
Hour and 45, yeah.
This is down the road for country Victoria. And Simon, you've come up from Melbourne.
I have. Yep. It's taken me probably 2.5, 3 hours tonight after work.
Not to represent the club, trader.
Well, okay, them fighting words.
Sorry, we'll just put this up here.
I sell collectibles as a bit of a hobby, so it keeps my mind busy. And wherever I can, I'll represent the club and have tables together with the club whenever I can. Unfortunately, the layout this year didn't happen that way, so we'll just be throwing things at each other across the room, I think.
Are we at least like backing onto the same thing? Can we throw things over the wall at each other?
How did you run?
Oh, I'm going to say not very.
We'll make it happen.
We'll go back to Target tomorrow and buy some tennis balls.
Oh, no, Nerf gun.
Oh God,
Nerf guns. So while I was looking at the Titans return stuff in Kmart tonight, I accidentally backed into the shelf behind me and knocked off a whole box full of Nerf gun pellets. So not pellets, the little things with the suction caps and stuff. But yes,
get a permanent marker and write little messages on them.
You really don't want to miss at that point, do you?
Well, you'd hope the messages were sort of bland. Yeah, but it's good to get back up here and across to here and do it all again for the year.
I think it was good last year as well for the club in that Brad and the guys were working hard with even just the little kids coming up and giving them some small figures.
That's where it all started.
Yeah, with just really good interaction.
Yeah,
with the young ones.
And we heard it from other stall holders and from the organisers too, seeing the kids wander around busy playing with Transformers instead of grabbing for that $200 hot toy or
that imaginary little thing that's in front of them. That's
do we have little giveaway figures this year?
Yeah, I got a big tub of them,
and we've got the rather more dodgy just big bowl of lollies as well.
Yeah, I brought 2 kilos of gummy bears from Officeworks, so.
I don't know about everyone else, but I'm sorted for tomorrow.
Yeah. I know what you guys will be throwing across the room to me tomorrow.
Anything.
Not gummy bears.
Just make sure you do a lick on the back first before you fling it so it
sticks on the back of the head.
But yeah, that's sort of, it was a bit of a hindrance too from some, because then parents would go to the next table, and if the kid hadn't got anything from us, then they thought they could play with what was on tables as well. So it's sort of, definitely one thing from Supernova, it's sort of kids come up, oh yeah, you can play, like we put the first wave of figures on there as the battle damage, the soldiers, the pawns, and
I broke the Matrix as well. But
I brought some super glue so we can fix
I broke that too. Yeah. I think we've all had a go at breaking that.
I got to glue it when we get back so it dries overnight too.
So I broke the Matrix, but I'm the one who's Rodimus on the podcast flyer, so that's actually okay. But no, we ended up with a lot of photos. Yeah, we might do that again tomorrow. Actually, I might go for a bit of a roam with the Matrix.
I've got mine now.
Yeah. So I didn't come to Nerdmania last year. Is there going to be like cosplayers?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Good.
I don't know if there'll be any Transformers cosplayers, but yeah, they had a good turn of cosplayers last year.
Look, you get surprised.
We nearly had one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly.
We nearly had
one. Yeah, we nearly had one.
Oh.
Yeah. Dance, Robot Brad. Yeah, no. So, but you get some surprise Transformers cosplayers. Someone, and I actually don't even know who they were. Someone came up with a really good Sunstreaker cosplay at Supernova, and they never took their mask off or anything. They just came by, said hi, stopped for a couple of photos, and they were off. No idea who they were.
Yeah.
If you're listening, good job.
Great work. I've seen photos of that. Yeah, and that's it. You get a lot of kids running around in Bumblebee costumes too. Just they probably wouldn't know what the Matrix is, but.
Well, no, they think it's this little sliver of metal. Never mind. Never mind. I felt the blood level in the room rise when I mentioned that. Now, a year old. We have been liking to do some year ago today things that happened, things that we talked about a year ago on the podcast. Now, Brad, you told me today you especially want to do this one. Because it's because there's a lot of interesting stuff in it. Things that have not materialized.
Yeah, this is
some things that have, but things didn't materialize in the way that we thought they would. A year ago today, we saw word of a Platinum Edition G1 Dinobot set. Didn't turn out to be
Exactly
G1
as G1 as we
Dinobots.
hoped.
It was the Age of Extinction Dinobots with G1 colors on them, which makes them
And a slight head, very mold.
yeah, very slightly. Yeah. So yeah, that disappointed. Masterpiece Tracks made his debut. Now I think that off this list, I don't know. There's two things that are on this list that actually have been released. Masterpiece Tracks was another. Kind of a divisive figure when he got released. Like the car mode's amazing. The robot mode's also pretty good, but there's some complaints about the windows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I also think that so considering that Masterpiece Tracks made its debut last year, we've had 3 versions of that mold already in the space of a year. We had Road Rage, and we also had the absolutely amazing looking Loud Pedal with his black and purple windows and stuff. So
going off the Lambos and the Datsuns, I'm sure there'll be another 2, so they can end out with their 5.
Surely they can do a green one, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll work something out. So Masterpiece Tracks, one of the few things that has actually been released from this year, this episode a year ago.
Well, he goes down from here.
Make Toys Trash Talking Cogwheel, actually not quite going down because these figures are amazing. Actually, I should have brought these up to put on the stand. And I nearly said Supernova at Nerdmania tomorrow. So Make Toys Trash Talking Cogwheels, the IDW comic style more than meets the eye style, Swerve and Gears.
Swerve is the plate.
He's on the plate of drinks.
Yeah.
Possibly the greatest accessory ever to any Transformers figure. Yeah, it doesn't come with it. It comes with in some sets.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I don't. You don't read any of the comics, Simon?
No, not really.
No. So the My First Blaster is this little thing that plays a tune and tells you whether or not you actually hit what you're aiming at or not. And so in the comics, Swerve is a terrible shot. He's never really fought for much of anything. So I think this Brainstorm gives him this My First Blaster, and so whenever he gets in a fight, he aims the blaster and bam, and then there's this little comical voice that goes, "Oh, you scored a direct hit," or you completely missed your target. So yeah, it's a cute little gun, goes very well with Trash Talking Cogwheels. So those guys have actually been out for probably the better part of a year now, but actually, yeah, I think I got them late last year or so, about this time actually.
Yeah, that's the gun there. Sort of very
nice
slinky bits and
he's pretty cool. So the other 2 things on this list we haven't seen hide nor hair of since they got announced. Dr. Wu revealed a Combinables Devastator Mixmaster replacement figure.
The whole thing, not
the
just
entire thing, not just an add-on, which is what everyone else has done, right? They've just gone, screw it, let's just give you a different piece to put on the front of that. Which I think, who was the one I saw during the week? It was DNA.
Yeah.
DNA's. So I've got the Perfect Effect add-ons for my Devastator. I haven't put them on. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to buy a DNA kit and add that one on instead.
You want to sell them? There's people in the group still looking for that Perfect Effect one.
Maybe. And the other thing that came out or got announced last year this time, KFC revealed Beast cages, which was intended to go to be a cage to put Ravage in, and I think it was meant to go with the Hound and Ravage Generations set or one of the masterpieces or something. Never materialized.
Whenever I hear KFC, I just feel hungry.
I know, right? No, I completely agree. They used to have a logo that was a bit of a play on the KFC thing, but now they've just sort of gone with something a little bit more generic. Now, given that we're all here, we thought we might put a pause on talking about the news of the week. There has been a lot of talk about all the news from TFCon. There's been and San Diego Comic-Con is actually on at the moment as well. So we thought we might just do all of that in one summary next week.
Instead of rehashing it, because they're going to talk about when the other guys get back on too. So
yeah. So instead, we thought we might take advantage of the fact that all 3 of us are sitting here, and we'll do an unboxing of some of these guys later on. And I thought since we have Simon here as well, we might take a bit of an opportunity to have a chat with Simon and learn a bit more about him. He's this enigma, this mysterious man who pops up. No, you're not.
Or maybe I do.
Maybe. So, yeah, Simon, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Where to start? Collecting wise, I guess.
That's a good idea.
It's probably the best place to start. So I'm a child of the 80s, 70s and 80s, obviously. So Generation 1 was always my thing. My parents, one of 5 children and 4 sisters. So for me, it wasn't really a brotherly thing to each get Transformers and play with them. So really once a year I got to go and play Transformers at Christmas time with my cousins. But it just stuck into my head as just a happy place for my childhood. For 25, 30 years later, I've really just started embracing that again and getting back into a happy place. So I only collect Generation 1 80s, obviously. I don't go for anything that's reissued, etc., because to me it's just too easy to find. So my cabinet.
You got to have the challenge.
You have to have a challenge somewhere. You do. So for me, I guess my wifey rolls her eyes when I'm sort of like on eBay and go, "Oh, look at this one. I don't have this." There's a couple of grails that I still need to get. There's about 4 or 5 that I'm searching for at the moment to complete my collection as I want to see it. And when I say I'm collecting Generation 1, I had an epiphany a couple of months ago when I thought, gee, this is going to take me forever. So after a bit of a chat with Brad as well, we sort of looked at it and said, well, where do you stop? And I finally, admittedly, got to watch the G1 cartoon series that I didn't get to finish when I was younger. And
G1,
so
G1.2.
Yeah, that's it.
You put a different decimal point after it every time when you're talking about season 3.
No, it's not.
G1.2.
Or is it 0.5?
Yeah, you say 0.5.
Oh,
0.5. So basically my Generation 1 sort of finishes with the cartoon and the movies, the original G1. Otherwise, which we can probably go into later, you've got to stop somewhere.
So do you know who this guy is?
I know who it is. But yes, I know who it is, but
no one voiced as from Leonard Nimoy.
Frank Walker. Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. But yeah,
I'm certainly not against any of the new stuff that comes through. It's just for me, I won't go out and purchase all the brand new stuff. It's not as much of a challenge for me. My beautiful wifey is starting to get into the Transformers a bit more now, so occasionally when she wins a raffle prize, thanks Brad, that means that I have to go out and buy all the limbs for anything that's Onslaught.
So hang on a thing, because you have mentioned your beautiful wifey twice.
Yep.
Your wife has a very impressive collection of Voltron stuff.
Yes.
In a very similar display as your own. I've seen pictures on the group, and so. So do you two like collect together, or do you have your own display cases?
Collection combat.
Yeah, it's collection combat.
It's
really.
coming soon.
That's about what it is.
Fox
So Beverly was always brought up with the Lion Voltron series. I was always into the Vehicle Voltron when it first came out. It was the first cartoon that came out into Australia. So as far as I was concerned,
Voltron was the first Voltron I ever saw as well. So
exactly. Apparently, in other parts of the world, it was the other way around, and then they brought the vehicles out sort of after the Lions. So when I was in the club, probably not for a long time, we sort of said, well, look, we've got to sort this out finally. And so we had a bit of a bet, and we were sort of like, well, we'll put it on there that stipulate that if the Lion Voltron gets more votes from the TCCA members, I have to then divert my Generation 1 funds into buying her pretty much everything that she can get for the Panoche Lions.
Transformers fans being, of course, the authoritative voice on Voltron collection.
Yeah, of course. And I lost that bet, and the rest is history. And I'm still diverting funds, if you like. And so she's getting a really, really nice collection of Voltron. As far as the cabinets go, my Transformers do not transgress into her Voltron cabinet. And occasionally when she's coerced, she will put hide little RC Prime figures in with my G1 and wait to see how many months it takes me to realise that she's done it, because I don't lock my cabinets. But yeah, so it's good fun. It's a good working relationship between the two of us that we both collect. Admittedly, I probably collect for her, but but it's great to have something that she enjoys and we can share.
It's the best type of collecting if someone else will do it for you, right?
That's it.
And it's good too, so you've got your focus with sort of G1 stuff, you know exactly what you need, what you haven't got. And,
Yeah, but it's not a constantly evolving line anymore. So.
Well, that's it. Like, you know, you've got that. Well, we've been talking for the last 3 or 4 weeks here. We're not getting anything Titan's Return. There goes the cork on that bottle.
No, it's like I did reserve the right to get Galvatron if I wanted to, which I decided I wanted to.
Looking at him in hand, he does look something worth getting. But
if you don't mind, when we leave, I might just grab the barrel.
I wonder if it plugs in the G1 version.
That would be interesting to find out. Actually, have you got a G1 Galvy here?
I do. I've got a Galvy, but I don't have a barrel. Like everybody else, it's one of the most asked parts that people sort of ask.
Maybe we can arrange them to have a tug of war over the barrel on the table or something tomorrow. I know. Good luck getting Galvatron, G1 Galvatron. I love that. Yeah. So Simon, you've been running the Transformers ER.
Yes.
For quite a while, but that's not. It's kind of, you're trying to kind of wind it down a bit now.
I've sort of suspended the ER. So for those of you that don't know, I have probably more junkers than probably the state of Victoria at the moment.
I've seen the drawers and the cupboards.
Yeah, there are drawers and cupboards and spare rooms full of parts ranging from Generation 1, which stay closest to my cabinet, to all the Bayverse and everything else around it. And really, it's a case of I wanted to do it just to help people to finish their G1 collections. And then I started getting people sort of going, oh, look, I've got all these junkers. Would you like those? And I'm like, yeah, all right, no worries. And so if people need spare parts, I can help them to repair their bots and stuff. I've also done some repairs on, for people's figures, like the G1 Megatron.
I've seen a few of those on the group.
Yeah, it wasn't in a very good way when it sort of came to me, and I repaired it with the parts that I had and sent it back pretty much the next day. So
he looked like he'd had his ass kicked by Optimus Prime, really.
Pretty much. But yeah, so at the moment I've sort of wound that down a little bit, just with it does get fairly time consuming. It gets hard. I think the hardest thing with running an ER for parts is that everybody assumes that I have a lot of knowledge. I'm reasonably new coming back into Transformers after a long period of time. And so if they drop me a message saying, oh, I'd like this part, it's sort of like, okay, I'm now going to have to go and Google that. Yeah. I'm going to find out who it is, what series it is, and what part you're after. And it was really, if you like. And then most of the time, unfortunately, with an ER, 95% of the time, it's like, I'm sorry, mate, I don't have that. So
because it's one of those.
It's the quirky parts that you can't find yourself on eBay.
Prime Fierce Seeker landing gear.
Yeah.
But, Omega Supreme leg clips.
Yeah. Because everyone's missing the same things.
Yeah.
And everyone's missing their headmasters, which this guy's headmaster's probably going to go missing in years to come.
Yep. Or I can make it go missing tonight for you. And
then I have nothing.
I can save you the heartache of losing it many years on, and then I can sell it back to you in 10 years' time.
I'll just have to go through the heartache now. Now, so you mentioned that you collected as a child, and then you grew out of it, and then got back into it as an adult.
Yeah.
So I think that's the case with many of us. And I think this actually goes to one of the questions that we had for feedback. Now, I wanted to ask you, Brad, because we haven't actually discussed that either. Did you have a point where you stopped collecting and then got back into it?
I don't think I was collecting originally.
Oh, that's right, because Beast Wars is your is your Patronus, isn't it?
I've got some G1. I think it was like the 89 reissue Prime. The fuel.
There's a bit of a lull between like Beast Wars and Armada,
and that's where like there was a G2 Grimlock in there, but there was a Ramjet, and sort of all those figures I've still got. There's a lot that didn't make it. But then
no figure left behind.
But that's one of those things. Like
ones that are.
Beast Wars was my cut but I never had a Beast Wars figure.
Yeah.
Whether I can't remember seeing any Beast Wars figures in stores, so which is probably the reason why. But
see, I remember seeing Beast Wars in stores and going, "What the fuck is that?"
yeah. But I never really got into it until the 07 movie.
I was the same. I think I saw it and I was just like, really?
Mm-hmm. So the feedback question was from Kieran. He said, do you remember what it was like when you got into or came back into collecting Transformers? What got you into it, and what advice do you have for new collectors in Australia? So, Simon, what actually did get you back into it? Is it that you married a wonderful woman who was also into collecting and you picked it up again, or was it before
possibly?
that?
But I don't think Beverly was really ready to be a collector. Like same with me.
She just didn't know it yet.
She just didn't know it yet. That's right. For me, what got me back into it, to be totally honest, is that I only had basically one or two left from my childhood. One of those being a Mega Supreme, which I'm lucky enough that it's still complete, still works. And I found this club, this Facebook page with probably about 200 members at the time, I think, and touched base with the club, and it was just like, put it on there, and it was just like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And it started for me sort of, I suppose, I just found a good group that I liked, and then I sort of started getting a little bit more interest into the G1s again, and that's probably the main kickstart for me. So it wasn't really a case of an epiphany of I'm going to collect now. I think I had a few things. I sort of chatted with the group a bit, and then started to really just remember how good my feelings were with the G1 figures. So, and that's why I'm in the club now.
So I had I think I've had two. I think we've talked about this before with me. I've had 2 periods of getting back into collecting, and obviously I loved them when I was a kid, but I've also come to realize that I didn't really have that many as a kid. I didn't have many of the Autobot cars. I tended to have like Prime and Megatron and maybe Starscream or a couple of the Jets or something, and that was about it. And then I got a whole bunch of MicroMasters.
Yeah.
And so I purchased a whole bunch of MicroMasters from someone. I think I've got a decent collection of MicroMasters. They're all just packed away in a bag though. And so I think I got Prime, I got Megatron, and then I got Ultra Magnus and Galvatron, and I don't really have that many other G1 figures outside of those. I had a few of the little guys, but not many of the sort of the larger bots. And so that was sort of my G1 collecting days when I was a kid. And over the years, sort of the intervening years, I'd actually go and browse tformers.com and look at their news and just say, oh, hey, what's happening in Transformers? Oh, Beast Wars. Okay, Beast Machines. Okay. But I think when I got back into it, the first time, it was actually around the time when the Masterpiece line started. And I can't actually remember how I managed to do this, but I ended up with someone in Hong Kong, and I think I'd found them on a Transformers message board or something, and ended up with someone in Hong Kong who was capable of walking into a shop, buying things for me, and packing them and sending them to me, and I would send them money through like Western Union or something like that. Very, very reputable, of course. But so that's how I got. Yeah, but that's how I got Masterpiece Optimus Prime the first time around, and I got all the world's smallest figures. Like this guy would just go into a shop and just buy like the entire box for me and send that over. And then sort of I got those, and then I started picking up Vinyl Tech as they came out as well. And I thought, well, Vinyl Tech and Masterpiece Prime, they sort of go together with all the sort of the die-cast and stuff. Because Takara got cold feet on die-cast almost immediately when MP1 came out, and they started just doing after MP2 was the repaint, but 3 and what was 4 anyway?
The Prime with trailer.
Prime with the trailer, yeah. Okay, so yeah, but so Starscream had almost no die cast in him, if at all. I think it was just in the frame actually.
The Ghost one didn't, apart from the 2 slides.
Yeah.
Slides.
Megatron didn't have very much, I think, except for the feet, and so they've backed off the yes. So Takara's backed off the die-cast almost immediately, but if you put the Vinyl Tech figures next to MP1, there's a good sort of share of metallic sheen to them, and so I would sort of accepted that these are sort of modern interpretations of those characters, and then I let it go for a bit as well, and I think it was because at the time I was moving house a bit, and I didn't really have enough space to really collect Transformers along with everything else that was going on, and so I didn't do much. And then I moved to Singapore, and I don't think I've looked back ever since then. So Singapore has toy markets that happen once a week, where you can go in and you can get the latest figures every week. Whatever's come out it's there. Mainly because their sellers jump on a Jetstar flight over to Japan with an empty suitcase. fill it full of stuff, and then they come back.
Not if there's anything wrong with that.
Totally not. That's how. Well, yeah, it's kind of amazing. They small point of fact, they do the same thing with iPhones. When the new iPhone comes out, they'll jet off overseas and come back with a suitcase full of them. But yeah, so it was. I think it was when I was living in Singapore, and I think it was also the fact that like I'd been aware of Armada, and I didn't watch Armada. And I watched a little bit of Energon, but not very much of it. And I watched a bit of Galaxy Force, but not much of it. But then Animated came out. And I think Animated was what really got me back into going into the shop and looking to see if new figures had been released. And basically, if I saw a new figure in the Animated line, I just picked that up and off to the checkout.
Yeah.
So yeah, So in terms of advice for people collecting,
have a goal.
Yeah.
I was going to say buy online.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
For me, it would be have an achievable goal, so that you know where the start is, where the finish is.
Yeah.
The other thing would be, particularly for me, is to collect within your means. So, like, I'm trying not to go towards a masterpiece line, for instance. Even though I love the G1 and I'd love to have a G1 Prime and a G1, MP05 and that sort of stuff. I know that if I buy those two, that I'll start going, well, crap, I've got to buy the whole line now. So I'm trying to stay within my my bounds, I guess. Enjoy what I've got, and don't worry about what everybody else has got that you have to have. You know.
Yeah, I think one of the worst things with the masterpiece line is too that none of the figures are under their retail price. Now, like unless you buy
some of them sometimes like no. So if you go into some places in Singapore, you can get 3 masterpieces for $100.
Yeah, I'm talking the general population.
Mm.
But yeah, like
general population, so good to see you.
Yeah, unless you're buying masterpiece figures straight out of the gate, to go back and try and I'd hate to try and collect masterpiece now from scratch. Like
there's a couple of masterpieces that I am still trying to chase up. Yeah, I think I said last week I managed to score an MP9B.
Yeah.
Which I think means I need an MP4S, which is basically going to break the bank. And I wonder if the completist in me means that I need to get an MP5G as well.
It's starting to sound like an iPhone, isn't it? As soon as they bring out the 4S, it'll be the 4S T5. You know.
So you actually touched on the other feedback topic that we wanted to bring up as well. Jason Campy asks, after chatting to fellow collectors, I've noticed 2 types. There are line completionists and those who collect just bits of everything. Now, I know from experience speaking to different people, TCCA has basically falls into those 2 lines. So he says, don't people get worried about starting new lines? The thought terrifies me. I know if I get any world's smallest transforming Transformers, that will be the end of me, because I'm a line completionist at heart. So Simon, I think it sounds to me like you're a line completionist, and you're
definitely,
you don't really want to branch out to anything else because you'll have to complete it.
Pretty much, yeah. Once originally when I started with G1, I just sort of went, oh look, it says G1, I've got to have it, okay. And I kept on buying just anything that I could find that was G1, and I'm like, well, it's Generation 1, it meets this criteria. And then I sort of, by bringing it down to the cartoon series, 0.1, did you say?
1.1.
You're narrowing that goal.
I've narrowed the goal down to something that is actually achievable, and that I'm still going to enjoy just as much. So the crown, which I've got on lay-by, is Fortress Maximus in box, and that's sort of like going to be the finishing off, for me in that line. I've got a few more little figures to get. Then I've got the problem of, then what? So
you can just look at them every day.
I can window
I'm sure
shop.
There's a lot of obscure, like you've got the Soundwave Etch-a-Sketch or the drawing table, whatever it is. And
so I think
did you bring that?
I was going to bring that. Hang on, I'll just run home and grab it. Give me just a second. I was going to bring it. I was like, do I, don't I? And I'm like, I don't want to damage the box with the amount of stuff that I've got in my car
Fair
at the
enough
moment.
too, yeah.
But I do have a loose one now as well.
Oh, you got 2?
He's got one to show off and one to...
So Transformers Etch-a-Sketches wins.
Yeah, one for the week and one for Sunday best.
Yeah, no, I did purposely buy one from the UK, having parts as well. I had some spare parts from one, bought one from the UK, put the parts together. I now have a complete working one so that I can show you guys. I just forgot to bring it. And yeah, it's good fun. So, yeah, but I suppose the next part of my line would be like the books and the other products that you can get.
Pillowcases.
Yeah, but okay.
So we actually found. The reason I'm in Shepperton at the moment is I'm actually visiting Melbourne, and I've ducked up to Shepperton because my family's in from London, or my sister and her family are in from London, and my nephew is crazy for Transformers. And my mum tried to find my Soundwave quilt from doing a couple from when I was a kid. Couldn't find it, but she did manage to find the pillowcases. So my nephew is sleeping at night on my old Transformers pillowcases.
One thing I'd like to bring up here, Roger Cook in the chat on the group, he's last year he decided to buy an Optimus Prime. Now he's got 36 of them.
Yeah,
that's like a good batting average too. That's almost one a week.
that's what I call a convoy.
He's still got a few that he wouldn't mind getting. So
yeah,
he's after a G2 Prime. We got the Laser Prime too, haven't you?
Yeah, G2 Laser Prime. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pause this for a minute because I need to actually plug my MacBook into power.
Oh,
this is going to be interesting.
Technology.
If you don't mind.
Shimmy.
Sorry about that.
Intermission.
Yeah, intermission, everyone.
Go and top up your popcorn.
This is also where we figure out whether or not I can actually reach the power socket with my.
Oh, there's one of the power socket over there.
That will probably do it just nicely.
Oh yeah. I was going to say my crap top. My crap top's got a long one. I suppose there's been some other thing happening there.
And we're on.
Yeah.
If
Bradley Smith got a reissued Takara Megatron in 2000.
Flexible, but I'm not that flexible.
You know what we do is we can lift that up. There we go. The perils of recording in a hotel room.
There you go, power line.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
There we go.
No song and dance. No, Adam, we're not song and dancing. There's not enough room.
Okay, we're a friendly club, but we're not that friendly.
Just keep your hands where I can see them. All right. So, Brad, line completionist.
I went dangerously close to that with Revenge of the Fallen. After the first movie, a lot of stuff come out and disappeared, and I didn't get a lot of it. When Revenge of the Fallen come out, anything I've seen, I was thrown on lay-by. I've got Megatron Prime head magnets laying around at home and key rings and all the shit that doesn't transform.
Was it because you just sort of went like, Revenge of the Fallen, this is going to be massive?
No. It was another Transformers movie, but just because of what appeared and then left stores, I thought, well, I'm get on it now and make my decision later if I actually want or not. Load up the pinball machine, the pinball game, and
wait, you got a pinball? Oh no,
the little thing with a little ticker.
I was going to say pinball machine in the house.
Oh, yeah, no,
and not Adam's Family.
There's a dozen other franchise pinball machines I'd like to have before I get a Revenge of the Fallen one. But yeah, and then even the closest thing to completion after that's probably been Masterpiece, but there's still stuff in the Masterpiece line I don't see buying.
Name a couple that you won't buy.
Ultra Magnus. I've got Citizen Stack, and he's a perfect Magnus for me. Shockwave. I've got Quakewave. Not spending over $200 on that. Inferno for Hellfire.
So that's where I'm a little bit different with my completionists. I sort of go, well, third party, it's but it's what you prefer.
Yeah,
and it's again.
Well, more so, I've already got it, and what's replacing it isn't worth trying to sell or spending another $200 to replace. Grindor, like I've already got Grimlock. Yes, he's a little bit small, but in Dino mode he fits fine, and I'm not going to spend $260 on another third party Dinobot.
Yeah, another Grimlock. How many third-party Grimlocks are there now? It's like someone's just opened the floodgates on them in the last year.
Yeah. But then see the other things like all the B's, C's, D's, the Masterpiece stuff, like all your Diaclone stuff. I've got Loud Pedal, but apart from that, I've just got no interest in all that
repaints.
Yeah,
and
like yes, Sideswipe, Red Alert, classic repaint, but they're characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then even like Combiner Wars or Generations, just the Warpath, the Cup, any of those figures that sort of fit with the Masterpiece scale, design and scale, just to fill that gap. Not going to go complete just on Chug. Even the Combiner Wars got the main 4 combiners, and everything else that I've got's just in individual bots. They don't combine for me.
Chug's been an interesting line for me because I like at some point I'm probably going to just decide that I should just go all in and try and buy them all, because I keep noticing new ones every few months. I'm like, oh, that's really nice. I'd like to get that. I think Max had the Chug Jazz on the podcast when I was like, it's really nice. I'm going to go get one. And then like 2 weeks later, I'd managed to procure one. So,
where's your new Chug Prime?
The new Chug Prime.
Yeah.
Look, I think we're at the end of the feedback stuff. So let's talk a little bit about acquisitions, shall we? What have we got for acquisition wise? What have you got?
I've got nothing here.
Yeah, no, you don't have to have it here.
Brought Kronos this week. He should be here next week.
The sort of the temperamental third-party Jetfire that breaks when you look at it. That's the one, right?
Yeah, but he still looks good.
He still looks good. Yeah,
I'm going with a good price, so he's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't see how the Fans Toys one can be 180. I don't know what's going on there. It's twice the size of Stomp. So it's coming. Me Ratchet from England turned up yesterday. I haven't had a chance to open that yet.
Mm-hmm. Does he have a different ER sign because he's from England?
I haven't opened it. I don't know what the stickers in there are. I had it all written down. That's about it. Another care package arrived today from Danny Quinlan with some bots for the upcoming raffle. So big thank you to him. Admission, alteration, apology to Jason Campy last week. The book style Astro Train I got was not from Daniel, it was from him. So at one stage I thought I was getting 2.
We are very good at keeping track.
They all come in the same box. One come from one. They all got routed through the state rep, so that's where the confusion happened. But
can we just say routed?
Yeah,
routed. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Sent to.
Yeah. So that's
So, Simon, how often do you add things to your collection?
It used to be just I went through a phase where I sort of just went have to have, and I swear to God, my postmaster, because we have a general store where we pick our stuff up, he just give me the dirtiest look when I'd walk in, not buy anything from the store and pick up like 3 parcels. Okay, but
that's
as
that's what our mailroom does at work. Like my last order from Com Gateway, like there were 14 individual boxes, and I got an email from the mailroom going, Jason, 14 small boxes have just turned up. Could you please come down and get them?
Now.
Yeah.
Better hire a small truck.
So for me, I guess as my collection is nearing its, as far as the loose bots go, nearing its completion, I've really slowed down from purchasing. So the mailman doesn't hate me so much now.
You're not making him do his job.
Yeah.
No. I was really dark on him for a while there, just by the way that he was treating me, because I wasn't buying stuff from his store, but I was picking up a shed load of stuff from his mailboxes. As far as acquisitions go, I've been lucky enough this week to Nick Brooker has sent me Goldbug.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I think, Goldbug, he was in the cartoon right at the very, very end of it. He's got to be added to the collection. So fantastic for that. So thank you. So as far as buying stuff at the moment, my priorities are a little bit shifted. I'll get back to finishing the line.
Are they shifted over to Voltron?
Strangely enough, I think the last big item that I bought was a lot of Voltron stuff. So I think the last couple of items have been Voltron.
Well, so there's a couple of not a couple. I think there's one big new shiny Voltron coming out from Bandai. I saw a premium list. I think for it was about 430 or was it 340? I don't know, but yeah, it looks pretty good.
I'm lucky that my collecting, as we were saying about our lines, and I suppose I'll just go out and say my collecting OCD of having to have 80s and 90s, mostly 80s, has gone along the same line as the Voltron. So we're not buying the latest and greatest Voltron every time it comes out. We just want the original Panoche full set, and we're very, very close.
Oh.
So.
Well, so my new collections.
Well, before
acquisitions.
Unique Toys Bruticus coming this week too. I haven't opened it yet. I don't know if I want to just look.
Oh, so you do have something new.
Yeah. I just remembered. I'm still not 100% sold on the colours. I don't know if I want to open the box or just throw it straight in the raffle. But
we'll find out what happens.
We'll find out
what happens in about a week.
Did you end up getting like the Combiner Wars? I remember when you saw.
No, I'm still trying to find Vortex and Brawl. I've not seen them at all at retail. So
I know what's
local retail, not online.
Because originally Brad wasn't totally sold on it, and I bought Beverly's Bruticus to Nova.
Yeah, Nova, yeah.
And Brad had a bit of a play, and
like the way it all fits together. So I brought Onslaught then, and they've been trying to complete it ever since. So. Okay. Good.
So my acquisitions are sitting here. So a few months ago, I went to Melbourne and went into Pleasant Surprises, and I purchased a Robots in Disguise or Transformers Adventure Sideswipe, thinking that it was the deluxe one, but it was actually like 3-step changes. So I have corrected this error today and purchased myself a deluxe RID Sideswipe. There is
10 step. 10 step.
10 step. You think that's amazing? Look at the Titans return box for Galvatron. 27 steps, and 1 step for the head, which I think makes it 28 steps, really. But yeah.
Well, he's a triple changer, so he's 10 step.
I suppose that's true. So Titans return Galvatron. Should we give him an open?
Yeah,
we have a couple of other figures in here as well. There's also a RID Megatronus. There's a few people who've been pretty happy with him, so I decided to pick him up. And Simon is bringing up the other interesting piece for the week, which is the oh, look at that. I've managed to tear that already. So this is the KBB MP10V. It's a knockoff undersize of MP10.
A knockoff? Did you say?
Yeah. It's a knockoff undersize. So it's a KO. Let's be honest.
Did we ever work out why I couldn't call it an unofficial reissue?
Yes, because it's a lie.
Okay.
So Titan Return Galvatron. Let's try to free him from his plasticky prison while we're here. Simon's gonna get out the
I may need to put cotton gloves on.
Package opening noises.
It's not that bad. It's only $100 worth.
I wasn't worried about your toy. I was worried about me taking KO non-G1 home with me.
Yeah,
catching the KO cooties.
All right, let's see if I can free this guy here. Nope, I can't because there's more plastic that I can't get rid of. Does anyone have scissors? No.
Check the utensil drawer.
We'll burn it out.
Yes.
How about you guys play with this for a moment?
Use your letter opener. You wanted to use it as letter opener?
Yeah, you won't be able to do that.
All we got to do is poke the bear. He'll use Prime's axe. He doesn't use it for anything else.
No, you know what? You're right.
We have sharp knives.
Oh, you got a knife there?
Yeah.
Probably a better idea.
There you go. Steak
there we go. Thank you.
Self-contained units.
This is going to be fantastic if I manage to do this without doing harm to myself.
Sort of sit over here.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea actually. This is fantastic listening for people. There we go. You know what? I'm just going to do that, and to get that in there, and it's failed. I think Brad can edit this part out of the audio.
Oh yeah.
So this being a knockoff Chinese edition Prime, it does come with an Age of Extinction sword for no good reason.
Because of KO.
It's made of metal. It has some nice detailing on it though. Like there's some yellow painted parts on it, but that's about the end of my interest in the sword, frankly. I'm just going to hide that knife over there, and
you still got the standard MP big back on him, but it's got some nice weight in it too for a little figure.
Yeah, he certainly does. What have I done here?
And smokestacks that you can put your eye out with.
Let's see if I can get that up.
All the accessories there.
Never mind all the noise I'm making.
Yeah, 3 different heads. You got one head that hasn't got its face plate on.
So the actually, wow, this is quite good. Like all the joints are pretty tight and everything. Yeah,
Nice and solid.
that's pretty nice. Titan's Return Galvatron does have a jet piece on his back because he does turn into a jet as well for no real reason. But
Well, I was seeing in the group, some
Okay.
posted with that sticking up, pyramid motor, what do they call it?
Something
Even
like
though that
that.
doesn't go, because his head's going to come off, of course.
yeah, so his head is Megatron, but his name is Nucleon.
That's what I'm going for. The
There is a slight there is of course some slight amusement in Megatron being Galvatron's headmaster, right? So I'll get this out without destroying the camera. I'm in delight making all these really loud noises. I'm sorry. There we go.
My eyes.
it's like we're muted for a second while we're done it. Oh, there we go.
I'm free.
Of course, like it's not Galvatron without this
Oh, spring loaded.
the classic huge.
Overcompensating.
No. It's the huge blaster. It just looks super powerful.
His face
Yeah.
plate's spring loaded. The Titan,
Spring loaded.
yeah, the Titan head goes in and it's.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's never going to come off.
That's right. I'm just trying to. Instructions. Do you just pull?
I don't
You
know.
just pull it, will you?
Instructions, don't you
I'm
mean YouTube?
Do it, Jason.
He-
Pull
he-
it.
he's-
Pull it, Jason. Pull it.
I don't even know what you're talking about because he's staying in robot mode.
I want to get little Megatron.
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay. I'll buy one tomorrow and get little Megatron.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Galvatron has his cannon. I don't really know what the black part there is for, but whatever.
Just hide it
I can
wherever
just
it
go
goes.
there. Yeah. So Titans Return Galvatron. He is quite light, actually.
How cool if that gun lit up. That would have been good.
You
You can
probably-
make it happen.
Yeah, you can probably make it happen. Stick a little button cell battery in there and an LED. That'd be all right.
External power to 240 volt.
Yeah. do you dare to touch the Titan
I'm-
figure?
I'm not scared of them.
Good.
It bears the name of Galvatron.
It does bear the name of Galvatron. So yeah, it is it is interesting to see where the figures have gone over the last few
Yeah.
years.
I've got no problems with handling all the new stuff. I'm just not going to go out
It's not
and
gonna
buy
be
it.
right. Yeah, that's
It's like
fine.
when you're babysitting somebody's child. You know, it's okay looking after
You're
their
not gonna
child as long as you get to
have
give it back
Give it
afterwards.
back, right? Yes. So yeah, well, I one of the biggest disappointments for me when I was a kid was that Galvatron looked nothing like the figure in the movie when I got the toy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was just like, what the hell? What is this? And young me could never really, put 2 and 2 together and say, right, this is actually the same figure. Oh my god,
Wow.
you've
Look
taken
how
his,
small and stupid that head is.
you've broken his head off.
That looks nothing like production photos.
Of course it doesn't, because the photos you're talking about are all CGI.
I don't. No, it's not going to pick up.
Yeah, no, you've gone way out of focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
all. It's not gonna-
That's not going to focus anyway.
Like, here, I'm going to do it again.
I've just said you've gone way out of focus. So you're like, all right, done it again.
Go closer.
It got 2 little dots of red paint for the eyes, and that's it.
So this is the thing about having different size classes that are all headmasters. That head will fit onto a deluxe, and that's why the mask thing is there to sit in front of it and make the head look larger.
They're all the same. These are all the same size, aren't they?
Yeah, I didn't realize this until last week.
They're so small.
Yeah,
Much
they're
smaller
tiny.
than I thought they were.
Yeah,
Yuck.
but unfortunate.
Yeah.
But if you put it all together as the figure is meant to be, like as a figure, I like it.
Starscream, give me back my face.
Before I destroy you. Yeah, no, like for me, it's all about the bot mode and how the figure looks as a representation of the G1 figure, or at least the cartoon figure that I was so used to. So, yeah. Look, I think we have actually been going for quite a while, so I think we might not do the unboxing of the other figures because I don't know really how well the Titans Return unboxing has worked out for us. So I don't really want to do the RID figures because they've been out for a while already.
Just the Photon?
Photon.
No, I'm not doing a
a
third party. Yeah.
No.
We'll be here for another 45 minutes getting it done.
Yeah. So look, I think maybe we might just bring it all to a bit of a close. Galvatron's doing the splits as well now.
Eep.
Do you find you have to do this, right? Whenever you're going to place a figure on the shelf, you have to pull it down, put it in the pose that you want it to be, and then
and then just.
A while ago, you would have noticed that when Brad was over at my place, we had my cabinet turned around in the opposite way, and all of my figures were facing the opposite direction. And there was a lot of WTFs in the group, sort of. So the hardest thing for me at the moment is having my cabinet the way that it is. I have to load from the back of the cabinet now, making sure everything's facing forward. And as an OCD sort of thing, it doesn't work very well.
You should put all the figures on little lazy Susans so you can put them up and then just like go.
I should do.
Yeah, there you go. That can be what you do after you finish your G1 collection. Put them all on little rotating discs.
You got the lid on, so
the challenge will be trying to find the right spread for each figure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's all right. We'll put them together later on.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think we might bring the podcast to a bit of a close. Thank you for watching, everyone. There are actually a few people in the group watching, so thank you very much for that. If you are not in the group, then this has been Off the Shelf. This is the voice of Transformers Collectors Club Australia, and tonight it's the people of Transformers Collectors Club Australia all in the same room at the same time, geeking out.
We don't get to do it often. It's good.
No, we don't. Yeah. All three of us are heading to Nerdmania tomorrow in Shepperton. Promises to be interesting. I think we didn't actually get to talk about con expectations and stuff on the show, but it's fine. We might talk about our feelings about cons after Nerdmania. How's that?
We'll see if it's the cherry on top.
Yeah, cool.
Stand by next week on the site. We'll have full photo galleries and that up. And
do I have to take photos? It means I have to take photos, right?
They'll take photos.
They will.
Oh well, you just be the roving.
I'll be the roving matrix breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got super glue. It's not coming apart this time.
Let's see how my hands.
We'll see what the next week's bit is.
Okay, so everyone, thank you for listening. You will find the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher of choice. If you can give us a review, we would encourage you to give us a review if you've got something nice to say. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's what your mother taught you, right? Whatever.
Bite your tongue.
Of course, but having said that, we do welcome constructive criticism. So please, don't be afraid to tell us what you think.
We know we have our bad sides.
Well, he says as he takes a swig from the wine glass.
Became out of a cask.
The podcast is, of course, recorded live on YouTube, as some of you are watching it now. And if you are watching the podcast on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Head on over to transformerscca.com. Join the Facebook group. Join the club. We didn't actually talk about the club members tonight.
All the membership stuff's going to be at Nerdmania tomorrow. So if you're going to be there, you can sign up. If not, we've got 2 weeks to go. We signed up in time for the elections and nominations. And to be in the draw for the Masterpiece Ironhide or Ratchet.
Yes.
Or maybe something else we have if you already have those two.
Ratchet Hide or
Ratchet Megatron. So if you do sign up to become a paid member of the club, which is incorporated in Victoria, thanks to this man.
Yes,
he's done all of the paperwork.
Big thank you to Simon for getting all that achieved.
If you sign up by the end of the month, as Brad mentioned, you will be in the draw to receive a figure, and you are eligible to participate in and nominate yourself for election. There are state representative positions becoming vacant in August, and people will be standing for re-election and election. And we'll see how they go.
Yep.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and thank you for watching. If you've been watching, if you've been listening, we apologize about the noise while I was unboxing the Titans Return Galvatron. Should have had some scissors handy. I didn't.
In hindsight,
foresight. Yeah.
Hindsight is always 2020. I've got no idea what foresight is, well, other than the lack of. So thank you very much, and we'll be back next week with a more traditional multi-person, multi-headed podcast, and we will be talking about all of the reveals from TFCon and San Diego Comic Con. Do you reckon we can get Ash on next week?
I was going to suggest, I'll send him a line when he gets back next week and see if he wants to come on and talk about it, because that would be really good.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
And thank you guys for letting me sort of get in on your technology.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. The technology has not rejected you yet. It might mean that you're a good match for it in the future.
Maybe.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
No, it's good. You've been wanting to come on for a while. It's good to finally get it all done.
I only had to drive 3 hours to do it.
Yeah. I had a 2.5 hour train ride and a flight to get here. Yes, it's
rained on.
It's been a thing. Yeah, and I got rained on. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back next week.
Babbling. Good night.